It is around 5:30 in the morning of November 16, and I'm in another Grab car. And by the way, I'm noticing just at this moment that my watch cover has come off, so I have to be extra careful. I'll have to keep this under the cuff of my jacket. I took a Grab car to the Yogyakarta Station Monument, which is a train station, because that is the pickup point for a guided tour that I have booked for today. It's a guided tour of Prambanan and Borobudur, which I booked on Klook. I will link the booking in the description box. But one thing you must remember if you're going to book this as well is that there is a higher rate for foreigners. The only way you can book the lower rate is if you have proof that you are a citizen of Indonesia. Otherwise, you have no choice but to book using the foreigner rate. And I will keep the original sound on so that you can have a much better idea of the experience. And also for myself, if I want to go back to my own memories of this day, I can just go back to watching this vlog.
Dari arah barat akan sudah masuk kereta api Prambanan. Kereta api Prambanan dari stasiun Gambir menuju ke Madiun Solo Balapan.
The pickup is at 6:40 a.m. and I am much too early, which was deliberate because I wanted to see what's in here. Turns out the train station is celebrating its 80th anniversary and they have a little photo display in their lobby. Please feel free to pause the video to read the captions at the bottom of the photos.
Perjalanan kami ini nanti melalui stasiun Yogyakarta. Berjalan di mana kami stasiun Yogyakarta bersama di dalam. Kami informasikan untuk dua stasiun berada di sebelah kanan. Yang telah masuk di jalur di lantai selatan adalah kereta api Prambanan dengan tujuan ke stasiun Solo Balapan.
I don't know much, but I'm hoping this will give you some information and the impetus to do more in-depth research on your free time. After my little walk around in the lobby, I felt very sad because our country, the Philippines, has nothing close to this. In this station, people are treated like decent human beings. It's beautiful and clean and seems like it's a very secure and well organized place, and it's also very comfortable. On the other hand, our own train system is really horrible. We're all treated like rats from the sewers. It is awful. If you don't believe me, come to Metro Manila and take the trains and see for yourself. After a short wait, the driver arrived, already with one other member of the little tour group for the day, and then we picked up two other people. And then, after about an hour, here we are at Prambanan Temple. Here is the usual display explaining the layout of the site and what visitors can do here.
English?
And they also have a bunch of brochures in different languages. I picked up the English version, of course.
Okay, before activity with Mr. Rico,
So before we go.
Here we are outside of the fence, and even from here it is so overwhelmingly beautiful. Just the knowledge that this was built in the 9th century and I am in its presence made me feel really lucky and privileged. Now, there's a lot of information about Prambanan online, but at around the year 1100 something, there was a volcanic eruption and an earthquake which caused so much damage, and so the temple was abandoned. But restoration began during the Dutch colonial period, and it's still ongoing today. This is now a UNESCO heritage site, and right now it's the UNESCO people that are doing the restoring. Those stones that you can see in the foreground are the original stones from the 9th century, and the restorers still haven't figured out where they should go. The guide said they were in the wrong position. So that's why those stones are still there, but they will be put back as soon as the people figure out where they should go.
And UNESCO do the funding, and UNESCO only have small team. It's only 5 to 10 people working together. That is to be the reason why we cannot rebuild the temple all together. Have to be one by one. And the second problem in Italy, the people in the past, they took the stone and put it inside the foundation of their palace. There's a lot of job to do. In the 9th century, the total of the towers in here, it was 240. So 220 for small temple, 16 big temple. 16 big, 1999.
And here is proof of life. I really am here. Can you believe it?
Ticket collection is being collected by the UNESCO. Yeah. No, it's not the nation that collect the money. But of course, we have some. I will tell you the reason. Above the door of the temple, there is a monster face. The name of the monster is Kala, and the function of Kala is to clean your body from any evil and negative energy. So when you go inside and outside, there will be no more evil spirit in your body for purification. Because when you go inside,
The steps are very, very steep, but at least here I had something to hold on to.
Do you feel clean?
No. Quite cozy though.
Yeah. It's a bit cool. So it's like. Oh, alright. I feel clean. I feel really good.
this original, this is new.
Now, the tour guide explained that when a stone is new, it is marked with a dot at the center and has no embellishments or carvings. But the original stones, of course, they have no dot, and they are usually the ones that have carvings.
Yeah, and it is still hard to do in the temple with 30% only new stone. Even Borobudur in the temple sensation is very calming, very quiet also.
I think this is a spot. Take this. Take this.
Okay.
That's little. Nico, can you help us take
Of course, I will help you. 2, 3, I will do with the ultra wide view. 1, 2, 3, little bit closer.
Here I am again. Behind me is our little tour group.
And then we are going to go inside the heaven, the area of the gods. And below the tree over there, that is where the UNESCO people carved the new stone. You see a lot of stone blocks over there. But now it's Sunday, so they don't work. What's happening?
Only 5 people, really?
It's like we're too Asian.
That waterway was built in 2013 to solve the serious puddling problem in the higher grounds of the temple.
Why does this have 2013?
Yeah, this waterway was built in 2013.
Oh,
Before
I see.
2013,
Okay.
it was a lot of puddle over there.
Oh, okay.
We are going at the center of the area. I will explain to you all of the temple, and then later we are going inside the biggest temple and the small temple over there.
And now let me just show you around. Prambanan is built in honor of 3 gods, Brahma the creator, Vishnu the preserver, and Shiva the destroyer. The largest temple in the center is for Shiva the destroyer. All 3 gods represent the cosmic cycle of creation, maintenance, and dissolution in Hinduism.
The destroyer is the most
And we
famous one.
went up all of the 3 temples. The 2 smaller temples had only 1 room, but Shiva's temple had 4 different rooms, and we all went into all of them. And across each of the 3 temples for the gods are also smaller temples that function as transportation for these 3 gods.
For Brahma, the creator, well, Hindu people do not pray to Brahma anymore because they think Brahma's job is finished, done. We already create the world, we already here, so there is no point to pray to Brahma. We check, they carve it with only 1 big stone in the 9th century, so it's monolithic. That's why there are no cuts everywhere. And the size of the cow is much more bigger than the door, which means they have to carve the statue inside the temple after the temple has been built. This is also the messenger of Shiva, the destroyer. That is to be the reason why Hindu people, when after they pray to Shiva temple, they will always go here and do a ritual. The ritual is to whisper something into Nandi's ear like this, into the cow ears. And they believe that the Nandi, the cow, will deliver the message directly to Shiva, their wishes. Just like Mr. Postman to Shiva. As the god of the sun in Hinduism, and Chandra is the god of the moon. Surya has 7 horses. 7 means 7 color of the rainbow. And Chandra has 10 horses. 10 mean 10 phases of the moon from crescent moon until full moon. So crescent moon, quarter moon, half moon, full moon. But remember, honeymoon is not included. If you want to take picture, you can take picture. Then later we go out and we go to Shiva temple, the destroyer, to see Shiva.
We're more aligned with the destroyer first. I'm third here.
Are you okay? Yeah. Tired? Open. And inside is also offering gold, silver, and also old money from the Mataram kingdom. Same, just a coin money, not a paper money. The room size is about 8 meters, 8 meters, and 8 meters, and the top is about 16 meters high. And you can see a lot of cement, a lot of concrete to connect the temple. When they create the holy water, they will do some singing, they will do some chanting also. The singing is like this, I will show you. Om Namah Shivaya. That they do every ritual. They will do some singing to create the holy water. And you can imagine if 15 Hindu people, 20 Hindu people do the singing, it will be very. Before we go to the second room, is there any questions about Siwa, about anything in this temple?
That one is also 1,200 years old.
Yes, this is the original stone. This is used to the magnet. In the
This is just a marker or
just a
it's
marker.
It's a nail.
It's lost easily. It get lost easily. It's not very deep. That's why we don't put any right. Teaching Hinduism in the first century, from the south of India to the west of Indonesia.
So he's a real person.
Real person.
Okay.
So Hindu people of Indonesia believe that this is when Siwa, the destroyer, came down to earth to teach Hindu religion in the first century. That's why in Indonesia we call him Siwa Mahaguru or Siwa as a teacher. But this is only Indonesian belief. If you tell this to him, knowledge because of wisdom and good luck. You can see the nose is very smooth, different than any other stone.
Because people
Yeah, people touch it in the 9th century. But now today the Hindu people do not touch it anymore. UNESCO also won't allow us because the oil in our hand will degrade the stone more.
Degrade the stone.
Yes, correct. You can see also the task is broken. So in Hindu mythology, he broke the task and used it for writing as a pen. You can see the task over here. He
It's not too bad. It's not too bad. The demon, where's the hands are? Okay, I see.
This,
Warriors. Knife, no, a sword, I don't know what that is. A shield. I can fix that. An arrow bow.
An arrow.
Arrow bow.
I would love to say congratulations. You visit all of the room in Siwa Temple. It's take a good effort and good exercise.
Yes.
And I will show you the way to the Buddhist temple after this.
Okay.
So please follow me.
And here's the novel The Betrayed, which was the topic of the academic paper that brought me to Yogyakarta in the first place. I will have a 5-minute book talk about this book on my channel very soon.
I was in Bosnia for my thesis for 3 months. I was dying.
What was your thesis?
Bosnia.
Bosnia?
And
What was your
Herzegovina.
thesis?
Because my master's was in geology,
Oh, okay.
so it was designing a mine pit.
Wait, the master's in geology in
Yes,
France?
yes. They have a very good geology program because they have
Yeah, but I'm just like, I'm confused because there's no mine in France, in Netherlands, in UK. How come they have so many like geology?
because they have New Caledonia, they have the African countries,
So all colonies.
all colonies, of course.
And Germany doesn't have any because they don't have colonies.
At this point, the guided tour was already finished. We have another hour to roam around to the other smaller temples before the pickup time, but I decided to just walk closer to our meeting point because it was already too hot anyway. And that is the temple we climbed earlier. On the way out, there are food shops and souvenir shops. I managed to pick up a pair of earrings for my twin cousin Michelle. This cost 50,000 Indonesian rupiah.
Saya nggak usah nganggo diet-dietan. Diet parah ini. Saya nggak ada. Ya mari belanja-belanja tempat habis 10-an. Kitasnya 10-an. Ini 10-an aja. Warnanya macam-macam tuh ada.
How much?
20.
20.
20,000.
And I also got a folding fan for myself. With Indonesian fabric, this cost 20,000 rupiah.
It's nice. Magnet, thank you.
And finally, here I am back in the car. The driver let me in so that I can have some air conditioning while waiting for the rest of our tour group to get back. And while rummaging around in my bag, I found my lost Apple Watch cover, so yay! The next stop was Borobudur. Now typically this guided tour begins with Borobudur, but on this day there was also the Borobudur Marathon in the morning, so the venue was closed for sightseeing. So that is why we started with Prambanan. But here we are finally at Borobudur. This is our badge with a QR code, so we could get through the turnstile, but later on I will show you what this band says on the other side. And then we got on a tram and had to walk to a different waiting area. I have already opened my umbrella because it was really, really hot. I did book the limited access to the higher levels of the temple, and so did my fellow foreigners, and for that we were required to wear special slippers and no socks. They also gave us this bag to carry our shoes in while walking because there is no shoe deposit here.
You may set up and go to your Sadomi.
After a bit of waiting, we were assigned a tour guide, and then we started walking. Here are the marathoners getting their picture taken after their marathon event. And up those quadrillion steps is the Borobudur temple. Now, there is a ton of detailed information about the temple online, and I encourage you to do the research because there's more there than I can ever share in this video, but I will walk you around. It is massive. The foundation and the ground level are a square shape, but the highest point is a circle, which I will show you later. It is so much more overwhelming in person. There is no way my iPhone camera could capture what I saw and felt in person, but I did switch between the wide-angle lens and the regular lens of my phone just to try to show you.
Lihat di atas ya. Di atas itu ada
Now then, that's the monster that could cut through the wall with the mouth open. That's the gargoyle from Exxon. So people already know how to drain the water since Exxon. It's not use about all these 45 and the 5. Call this system as an auto-block system.
The tour guide explained that this kind of flooring layout, very much like Tetris, is one of the main reasons why Borobudur did not get damaged by the volcanic eruption and earthquake in 1100 something. Fifth level.
And once you here in the third window, you can see the hand of it. And then in front of us, if you can imagine, this thing gonna become a hill. That's always that legend. And then if you want to vanish your money, why I said vanish? Because you only need 12 hours. That's you can go to the hotel. It costs $3,000 a night.
Wow.
To that side.
Honestly, I wasn't. Right? I just had to work $3,000. And there's like a hotel.
And here we are now in the higher levels of the temple, which is limited access, which is why there is less of us.
Oh no, we're not on the same. Yeah, you're this location. So which direction?
Alright, so
But
you
it
still
also.
Let's start from part then how come.
Oh, we're almost at the
So that's what we call what's the name of the bell? So 32, 24, 16 is not 4 times 8, 3 times 8 plus 8. But what is stupa? We start from the bottom part, yeah? 1 and 2.
Go to front. Tan.
How do we climb?
Use your hands.
I'm not gonna
Man, there's stairs for a reason, right?
Oh, I think there's over there. I see stairs.
And to be honest, I wish I could have.
And this here is the top. Once again, I am showing the novel that got me to Yogyakarta to begin with. And I must admit, I brought this book with me today because I was hoping to film the 5-minute book talk in either of these two temples, but there just wasn't any opportunity to do so. And here I am again, looking like a wilted weed under the sun. Here's another look at the Tetris-like flooring. And then finally, after all of that climbing up very steep steps, which I could not film because I needed both of my hands to stay alive, we were back on the ground level. Here's the information printed on my access band, and that's the access that you should book if you want to go on this tour and you are not an Indonesian citizen. Temple access, foreigner, adult. I got a cold drink and then saw that there were too many people waiting for the trams, so we decided to walk back because it was only 300 meters anyway, and the walkway is really, really nice. Okay, after all that walking in the hot Indonesian sun, finally we got to lunch. This is a very nice place, but lunch is not included in the cost of the tour, but the driver will take you.
That sounds good. Thank you.
I ordered the steak and a really good juice drink called Borobudur Sunset. And then later on, after I finished that juice, I also ordered the Borobudur Sunrise, which is also very, very good. And the talk around our table was so insightful. One person was from Denmark and he's traveling the world because that was his dream. The other two guys worked together in Belgium. One was a Filipino who has been living in France for 7 years, and the other dude is from Hong Kong, I believe. We talked about what are the best countries to visit on a tourist visa and on a digital nomad visa and on a student visa for a PhD. My meal cost 189,000 rupiah, which converts to about 690 Philippine pesos. And the driver actually dropped us all off at our respective hotels, which was a relief because I was so exhausted. I took a shower and then went to sleep, and I slept really, really well because I was so exhausted. This was such a good day.